everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm the owner of Simply Sarah, which is my creative business where I've been making handmade signs for about the last 6 years. Tonight I wanted to share a simple DIY with you that's going to be a really fun project that you can do with your handmade signs. And so we're going to be working on a rainbow project tonight, and I'm going to teach you how to do rainbow lettering. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight on Hometalk TV. When you jump on, will you go ahead and let us know where you're tuning in from? Hometalk has a huge community. I know that we reach across the globe, so I would love to know where you're joining us from tonight. So let's go ahead and just get started right into our project. For our project, you are going to need a small piece of pine or any sort of soft wood is going to work well for this project. And then you're going to need a vinyl lettering or some sort of, you can even use stickers from your local store. That would work really well. So let's go ahead and get started. We have our board sanded and prepped and ready to go. And so we're just going to apply, the first thing we're going to do is apply a coat of white paint onto our board. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm just going to paint a very light coat. You're just going to go light coats here. This is just a really easy base coat. And so nothing super crazy. You don't have to worry about lines and streaking and anything complicated like that. So just go ahead and paint your board with your base coat. So don't forget, when you jump on, go ahead and tell us where you're from. And then tonight, Hometalk is giving away a tote bag. And so to enter that, to be entered to win your tote bag, we want to know what word would you put on your sign. So tonight, I'm doing the word create for our sign because this sign that I'm making is going to go in my office. I love color in my office, and so as you can see with all the colorful things that we have, our rainbow sign is going to go perfectly tonight. So what word would you put on your board? So I'm just going to keep painting here. And Kim, where do we have people tuning in from so far?
We have someone from North Carolina, Gladys.
Hey Gladys from North Carolina, you are near us. We are in North Carolina, just south of Raleigh. So welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here tonight.
And we have Dusty from Pennsylvania.
Hey Dusty, how are you? Thank you for joining. Okay guys, how easy was that? Okay, first coat, super easy. Nothing complicated, just put a simple white coat of paint on there, okay? So then, after you have your white coat or your base coat done, we are going to grab our piece that's already dry. And what you're going to want to do for your second step is you're going to use 400 grit sandpaper. This is my little secret weapon. Whenever I make signs, I like to use 400 grit sandpaper in between coats. And that's probably something that you haven't heard very often. Usually you hear 120 and 220, but 400 just gives you that ultra smooth finish. That's great for between coats. So all you do with your 400 grit sandpaper is you're just going to simply sand down very easily, nothing complicated. Just give it a really good sanding. And if you are just popping on right now, we are making a rainbow lettered sign. And I'm going to teach you a really cool technique to get rainbow lettering where you're painting it all at once and the colors are going to blend. It almost gives it a watercolor effect, I like to think. And so I think you guys are really going to love this project. All right, so then you're going to give your wood just a good sanding. And once you have that done, you're going to take just a little rag. I just keep shop rags in my office at all times. And then you're just going to wipe the dust off your board. And now we're going to get into the really fun part, which is painting our rainbow. So let me just get all this dust off. While you guys are on here, while I'm getting this all ready, I want you guys to tell me, what's the weather like where you are? Here it is hot already. It's already feeling like summer, and it's only May. So I'm really dreading how summer is going to be for us. So you guys jump on and tell me what the weather is like where you are. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting a little bit of paint on in my Roy G. Biv. So we're getting all of our colors lined up here so that I can go ahead and create our rainbow effect. Red, orange, yellow, green. And I am using FIFO bottles because I know somebody will ask me, what kind of bottles are those? They're called FIFO bottles, and they're really great for keeping your paint. If you're somebody who paints all the time, you can store your paint just like that in the FIFO bottle, and they will not dry, they will not They will not dry out, they will not crack, they will not get bubbly or anything. So they're really awesome. I don't have purple on hand, so I'm gonna mix a little bit of red and a little bit of blue, and we're gonna try to come up with a really pretty purple. So we'll see how this works out. Get our blue and our purple, and then I'm just gonna mix it up real quick and see if we can get purple. Let's see, who's watching from the farthest place? Let's try and see, because I know Hometalk is around the globe. So let's see who can comment and tell me who's watching from the farthest place from me. I'm in North Carolina, so let's see who we can get. That's the farthest person.
Bianca says that it's snowing in Denver, Colorado.
It's snowing. It is May. Oh my goodness.
And then there's tornado weather as well in
Oklahoma.
I believe so.
Right? I saw that. You guys, I'm a big weather nerd. If you follow my page, you will probably hear me talk about weather because I'm a big weather nerd. So I'm a little bit jealous of the storms in Oklahoma today. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I hope everybody stays safe, but I kind of like a good storm. Anybody else? Or am I the only storm?
Wow, Wandy is from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico! She might be our winner. That's awesome. Puerto Rico. That's so cool. Okay, guys, so I have my rainbow palette over here. Now I'm just going to take a brush, just a medium bristle brush. It's just, I don't know, generic paintbrush, nothing complicated. And I'm just going to start, and you might want to, we'll see. And I'm just going to go over the entire board, and I'm going to blend my colors. I'm going to start with my red. So I'm going to take my red, and I'm going to go like this. All right, and then my brush still has red on it, and that's okay. I'm not even going to worry about washing it off or doing anything. I'm just going to go right into my orange, and I'm going to start on the edge over here on the right side, and then I'm going to blend backwards into my red. And this is how you get a really nice blended sign and get those rainbow lettering to just have like a natural flow to them, and it's not going to look quite so choppy where you're cutting letters. So you're just going to just go back a little bit until that color feels blended and it looks like a really nice smooth transition. So then I'm just going to go into my, let's see, I'm going to go to my, do I have enough orange? I think I have enough orange. I'm going to jump right over to my yellow, and I'm going to start at the right side, and then I'm just going to go back and blend it in. That making sense? I hope that makes sense to everybody. So for a chance to win the Hometalk tote bag, I want you guys to tell me, what word would you put on your board? I'm using the word create on my board because it's going to go in my studio. But if you guys were to make this for your own home, what word would you put on your board?
Kim says believe.
Oh, believe. That's a good one.
Grace.
Grace. That's a really good one. I love that. I absolutely love that. I mean, anything. This is just such a fun pop of color and such a great little project. And you can, I mean, any word is going to look cool on here, guys.
Sarah Pepe, I believe is how you say it, wants to know what you're making.
So if you are just joining us, Sarah, we are making a sign, and it's going to be a rainbow lettering technique. So this is just a plain piece of wood. This is a birch plywood board, and what we're doing is that we're painting a rainbow effect on it before, and then we're going to take our vinyl letter, which I'm going to show you in just a few minutes, and we're going to put that over our board, and then we're going to paint it again. So there's several steps still coming, so you guys don't go anywhere and stay tuned, because there's lots of steps to this project, but I promise it's easy. It doesn't take long. There's just several steps. And so we're just making a rainbow lettered sign. Super easy. And you know what I was thinking today is that, so like the unicorn trend is going crazy right now. And so this would be such a fun project if you have like a unicorn party or something coming up like that. This would be a really great project to do. You know what I noticed that I forgot, guys? Right in the middle, I forgot my yellow. You gotta have your yellow. And so it's really easy to go back over your mistakes if you realize that you forgot a color in there, because you're just blending your colors as you go. So I've got my green. All right, now I'm gonna go blue. I'm gonna go with my blue. So yeah, you guys let me know if this is a project that you are gonna try on your own. It's really fun. It's actually a great project to do with the kids. I was thinking today too, that you could do this and then put like kids' handprints. It would be a fun project to do with kids' handprints because it's a multicolor and it's got a lot of colors in here, so it would be a really fun project to do with your kids. or like a playroom. I could see the word play with the rainbow letters. I think that it would be really cool in a playroom. All right, we got blue. Let me go do a little bit of purple. And we're gonna start at the right side, and then we're gonna blend backwards into the next color, okay? So we wanna make like a real smooth transition, so we're gonna blend into the next color. That purple came out really nice. I love that. Okay guys, and if you were to make this sign, I asked for your word that you would put on it. Where would you hang it in your home though? Like where would it go in your kids' room? Would it go in your living room for a pop of color? Where would you hang the sign if it was going in your home? We'd love to know that. Do we still have people commenting where they're from?
We had someone from Brazil.
Oh, Brazil. I might have missed that. That's so cool. I'm so glad that you're joining us from all around the world. That's what's so cool about Hometalk. That it's the largest DIY community. So you've got people from all over. Isn't that a neat thing to be able to talk to people all over the world and come together all with our love of DIY, right? Like we're just all DIYers, and it's great.
Yeah, Mary says she'd hang hers over her front door.
Oh, that would be cute for your entry. I like that idea, over your front door. Or inside a little wreath would be really cute too. Like a back to school sign I think would be really fun. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you here. So I've got all my colors. I've got everything. Yeah, we started all our colors and we're just blending a little bit. So I'm going to let this dry really quickly. I wanted to tell you that I did use chalk paint, and that's my favorite sort of paint to use whenever I'm doing wood signs because it's a little bit thicker and so it's not going to run under your vinyl lettering at all. And also, it dries really, really quickly. So for the impatient crafter like myself, you don't have to wait very long for your artwork to dry before you can move on to the next step. So speaking of next step, we are going to remove our vinyl lettering. So I'm going to show you guys how to prepare your vinyl lettering. So what I have right here is I have the word create, and I ran this through my Silhouette Cameo machine, which is my absolute favorite DIY tool ever. But if you don't have one, I bet you know somebody, I bet you know a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend or something who has a Silhouette or Cricut machine who could cut this for you. So you just sweet talk your friends and tell them, I really need you to cut me out this really small letter. Please, please, I saw this cool project on Hometalk. And I bet they'll do it for you, no problem. You might have to buy a cup of coffee or something, but it's gonna be totally worth it to have this awesome project. Okay, so we have our word create. What I just did there was called weeding, where you're just picking off everything but the word that you want to have on there. So then you're gonna take a piece of transfer tape. Now, transfer tape is important whenever you're working with vinyl because if you were to just lift this letter right off of here and try to get it onto your board, it's not gonna work. It's gonna crumble, it's gonna just fall to pieces, and it's gonna be a complete disaster. So you need to use transfer tape whenever you're working with vinyl. And the transfer tape is what's gonna allow you to move it from this paper and get it onto your board. So I'm going to cut a little piece of transfer tape right here, and we're going to get that applied. And so a really easy method that I like to do whenever I'm working with transfer tape and vinyl is that I like to lay my transfer tape down and do sticky side up, okay, and then I lay my letters on top of it. That's a really easy tip and a really easy thing that you can do to make sure that your letters are getting on there correctly and that you're not getting any bubbles, or, you know, sometimes stencils can curl or they can do crazy things. So if you're gonna work with vinyl, my suggestion is to put your transfer tape down first and then lay your stencil on top. So this is what we have once our stencil is applied.
Sarah, Ashley wants to know, where do you get the big roll of transfer tape like that?
I get this big roll of transfer tape from expressionsvinyl.com. I have been shopping with Expressions Vinyl since I started working with vinyl, and I got my very first Silhouette machine 6 years ago. So Expressions Vinyl is where I get my vinyl, and they have paper and clear, and I just have rolls of each because I like each of them in different circumstances. So definitely check out expressionsvinyl.com. All right, guys, do we have any other questions, Kim? I'm going to transfer this on here. Let's see, my paint is just a touch wet. I'm going to try to dry that really, really quickly, guys. Oh, look at that. you can just go with it. What I'll show you guys is that once you get this on, then you're going to do another step over it. And so nobody's going to see that. We're not going to worry about that. Okay, so you're then going to take your letter and take your backing paper off of your roll of vinyl. Okay, or off of your letter. Sorry guys, off of your letter, okay? And then you're just going to be left with your sticky and then your word. So I'm going to grab my board and I'm going to turn it around really quickly just so I can get it placed well, but you guys will still be able to see. I want to make sure that my paint is pretty dry. I'm going to wipe some of this off real quick. Trying to do because this is one of those projects where like anything goes, really. I mean, if you've got a little too much paint on there, you can just paint right over it. If you don't like how that color turns out, go ahead and paint over it. Like this honestly is like a really stress-free project because it just doesn't, it just covers up any mistake. So it's a great beginner project. I know some of you are probably like, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start with that, but I promise you, it's so easy. Okay, so then and I'll turn this around. I think that'll be easier. I'll go ahead and turn it around for you guys, okay? So then you're just gonna take your letters and you are just going to place them right on your board, okay? I'm gonna place our letters on our board just like that. And you guys don't forget to answer the question for our Hometalk giveaway tote bag. And the question was, what word would you put on your sign? So you can see here that I have the word create on my sign, but if you were gonna make one, what word would you use? So after you get your vinyl down on your board, sorry guys, you're going to then remove your transfer tape. Because I'm working with my paint is not completely dry on here, it's gonna pull up a little bit, but I'm gonna show you guys how to stick that right back down. So if you're doing this project and you're trying to do it quickly like I am, and your vinyl isn't wanting to release, you're just gonna take your tool here. This is called a squeegee, and it's specifically for vinyl, but you can get them at all sorts of places. Or you can use a popsicle stick, or even a popsicle stick, credit card works. Get out that old Blockbuster card that you have lying around. You can use that. Anything works, guys. Okay. And this vinyl is not sticking. You know what I think it might be is that we have a little bit of humidity going on in North Carolina. Speaking of the weather, we have a lot of humidity today, and so sometimes vinyl can be kind of finicky when you're working in hot elements. I also have my lights here in my studio, so sometimes it gets a little warm in here and then stencils don't want to stick. But we got it. We're going to work with it, guys. I promise. It's going to be just fine. I'm going to get this to go here. Right. All right, guys. So then once you have your vinyl all stuck down in your board and everything is good, then you're going to grab that white paint and you're going to paint over your letters. And I will grab my white paint again and my paintbrush. I'm gonna push these down with my brush a little bit just so that I can secure the letters. Okay.
Someone asked, they joined late. They wanted to know what you use to create the word create.
Yes. To create the word create, I use a Silhouette Cameo, and you can use, it's a vinyl cutting, actually it's specifically called a die cutting machine. And you can use any die cutting machine in this project. I like my Silhouette Cameo just because that's what I've been using forever. You can also use a popular machine is also a Cricut. And if you don't have a machine, I have two options for you. One, you can bug a friend and tell them that you really need a vinyl stencil cut because you really love this project. Or you can go to any store really, but if you go to like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something like that, they sell they just sell stickers, and you can just grab stickers and put those stickers on your board using the same sort of method, but you can just grab stickers and do it that way.
Megan wants to know, would it stick better if it were completely dry?
Yes, it absolutely would stick better if it was completely dry, for sure, guys. And This is just the magic of the internet and Facebook Live. And the fact is that I did a video this morning and I did a trial run. And of course we had no issues, but then, you know, once the lights are on and we push the live button, that sort of thing just happens. But we're just gonna roll with it. We're gonna go with the flow. And I still think we're not gonna have any problems with bleeding or anything like that, but you guys know the project we're doing, and it is listed on Hometalk. I think they're gonna put a link in for you guys, but if you wanna go directly to the Hometalk tutorial, it's listed on the website where you can follow step-by-step directions. So don't be afraid if you're like, I missed a step or I didn't see what she did here or there. Don't worry about it. It's all on Hometalk. It's all good. You can go right over there and grab the tutorial. So while I'm waiting for this very first coat to dry, I want to teach you guys how to frame your boards. So I know you guys have probably seen in all the stores, frame signs are like what's super popular right now. You go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, everything is the frame signs. What do I have? I have one there. But the frame signs are really popular right now. And I know that that can be a like scary thing because you're gonna have to use power tools and you don't know how to measure, but I'm gonna teach you how to do that right now really quickly. So you're gonna take your board, and what you wanna do, you just need 2 measurements in order to make frames. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna measure from one side to the other. And so this is exactly 12 inches. So I did 12 inches, I went out and I got, these are called furring strips, and they are, you can use 1x2s or furring strips. I like to use furring strips because they're cheaper, honestly. And you can get a whole bundle from your roofing department. So if you go to your big box store, you'll go to the roofing section. They're not going to be with the regular wood, they're going to be with the roofing section. So grab yourself some furring strips. Go out to your garage, use any saw you have. You can use a miter saw, table saw, hand saw, anything works, guys. Whatever, you know, any saw works. And then you're just gonna cut those. So for this example, I went out and I cut those to 12 inches, just exactly 12 inches. I want them the exact same width as my board. Now, after you have those cut, you're gonna come back and you're going to measure from the bottom of the first one with them on. Pretend that like they're on and they're nailed in right now, okay? Then you're gonna measure from one frame to the other one, and you're gonna get that measurement. Now I'm gonna tell you guys something really cool. This is the tape measure that I found on Amazon. It's a digital tape measure, and it actually will tell you the measurement for you if you don't want to count your 1/8 of an inch and all that crazy stuff. So if you're like me and you just absolutely hate to measure, grab this tape measure because it is amazing. So you're gonna measure from there to there, and you're gonna get that measurement. And I have 7 inches right now. So then I went out and I cut these 7 inches. And then you're just going to put them right on the sides. So after you get them all measured out, you're going to stain them. So I'm going to stain mine really quickly while I'm talking to you guys. And I like to use, this as a water-based wood stain, and it's really easy. There's no awful fumes, there's no terrible oil-based cleanup or anything like that. It's a really nice water-based stain that I like to use.
Star asks, what is the wood called again?
This wood is called, these are called furring strips. Is that what she's asking? We'll see. Star, these are called furring strips, and you can get them at your big box store in the...
Sorry, we had to...
Hey everybody, sorry about that. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but no worries. We are back, and we're just going to finish up our project really quickly. I went ahead and I painted my other coat of white on the board, and then I went ahead and all you do is you pick off the letters, so it just pulls off in one quick motion. And then what I'm going to do for you really quick is just show you how to frame your sign really quickly, and then we're all done. So we have our word create. What do you guys think about that? Did it come out really well, right? It looks like a watercolor effect. Just came out really nicely. So what I'm going to do here is I am just going to frame this board. Okay, hang on one second. I think I grabbed the wrong board. I had 2 that were made completely. Guys, this is the magic. This is the magic of television, right? It's like we're cooking. It's like we're in the kitchen and we're cooking. No problem. I had 2 of them made. I told you guys I made one earlier, and it all went perfect. And so I'm just going to frame this up really quickly. I'm using a Ryobi battery-operated brad nailer, and this thing is amazing. It's my absolute favorite tool in the toolbox. You no longer have to have a crazy air compressor and hook up all that mess. Just get your battery operated brad nailer and you are ready to go. Okay guys, so I'm just about finished up. I want to thank you for joining me and for dealing with our little bit of technical difficulties. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. And you want to stay tuned because tomorrow there is another DIY at 1 o'clock Eastern time right here on Hometalk. I'm Sarah with Simply Sarah, and this has been a rainbow lettering sign tutorial, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Have a great night.